We're live.
OMG, OMG.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yes.
Wait.
The sound effects. Finish what you gotta do. We're live. Oh boy. Okay, we already have some people coming in. I love it. Let's see. Juju's here. Liz.
Pop them on the screen too. You can pop comments in there.
Oh, cool.
Just
y'all get to watch as Nicole teaches me how to use StreamYard. I'm a brand newbie to this, but I'm excited.
It feels great not hosting. I'm just chilling.
Honestly, it kind of feels cool to host. I'm like, okay, something new that I get to learn. Okay, so how do I pop the comments on?
You click on them.
It says plus.
Show, yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay, let's see. Let's try one here.
Yay.
Nicole with the sound effects already.
That's right.
Holy moly.
I love it. Gluten-free. Okay, gluten-free celiac disease advocate. Is that our buddy, Aaron?
Yes, brewing better. Aaron, what are you doing with your channel? You're so confusing.
What is going on, girl?
Well, shorten her name. It's too long.
You can't keep up. I know she had like a Twitter and she was like, on Twitter, it limits the characters. So she did something different there.
Yeah.
She said yes and new logo. Okay. I see. Oh, that's pretty. I like the logo. All right. Let's see here. Everybody's saying hi. Diane's here. Andrea, BJ, Liz, Deb. Oh, Deb and Liz are my ladies, the New Zealanders. So we got New Zealand in the house.
New Zealand? Oh, we're international.
Yeah, we are.
Heck yeah.
Yes. Oh, and Juliana's all excited because her new fancy coffee came in from Amazon. She got a Nescafe with the little pods for when she teaches.
Nice.
She just got her new job. Shout out. New job.
Woo. Hopefully it's fun.
She's a substitute teacher, so she has fun with the kiddos. Sent me a cute picture of her classroom. And it's a permanent, so she'll pretty much have that for the rest of the year. So it's nice to have that comfort and security, knowing where you're going to be and when you're going to be there and not all over the place all the time. Can you take this job? Can you take this job?
Yeah.
Craziness. So speaking of being all over the place, you just were not here.
Nope, I was not here.
Where did you get back from? Tell us.
I wasn't across the street.
Right. We were not across the street for the last. No. How long were you gone? A week and a half?
A week. Yeah, a little over a week. Yeah, we went, my mama and I go on a cruise every year, and this was booked like 2 years ago because of COVID. We had to reschedule it. But we flew into LA, and then from LA, we went to the Mexican Riviera, Puerto Vallarta, Mazatlan, and Cabo San Lucas. Yeah. And my coming home gift, I have a cough drop, is a cold because people are nasty. So 2 days before we got off the ship, I started having symptoms. So yeah, so I came home with the crud. But no, it was really, really, really good. We did a bunch of excursions. We slept a lot because we needed it. I'm not going to lie. I did have freshly made pasta from an Italian restaurant. I didn't get my pasta for Christmas. We didn't do the Italian feast, so I made up for it with the cruise. I might lose subs. It's okay. It was really good. But other than that, I was pretty much, all meat or whatever. But there were like a couple times I kind of went off plan a little bit for at least one of the meals. But for the most part, like I would say 90% of the time, my diet was on point. But you have to splurge a little. You're like on a cruise. Like I had a beer, a couple times. Like you got to live your life. But it was a good time.
It's just choices, man. That's all it is. Like having been on new low carb cruises, and everybody always asks the question about the low carb cruise. Yeah. Is the whole ship low carb? That means everything on the ship is low carb. I'm like, okay, first of all, not everyone on the ship is low carb, and absolutely not everything on the ship is low carb.
Yeah.
when we do the low carb cruise, it is a conference on a cruise ship. And there are about 200 or 300 of us amongst the thousands on the cruise ship that are low carb, and everything on the cruise ship. You're going to have all the low carb options to all the high carb options and everything in between.
Oh yeah. It's insane. The food wasn't that good though. It was so disappointing. Like the food on cruise ships are pretty much good for the most part. This was not good. I would always go to the meat carving station at the buffet and just have them carve me some meat. I did that almost every day. Our first day was cold. Like the food was cold. I had beef Wellington. I didn't eat the outside like crust thing. I just ate the meat part, and it was so chewy and gummy. It was like the food was just so disappointing.
What cruise line was it?
Carnival.
Carnival. Okay. Yeah. I think I might have been on a Carnival one time, but most of them, honestly, it's kind of hit or miss. I usually avoid the buffets as much as possible. Usually when you sit down, you can get better options at the sit down restaurants. Of course, some of them are premium because you have to actually pay extra. It's not included, but even the ones that are included, the sit down is usually a little better.
No, that's what I mean. The beef Wellington at the sit down was worth. The carving station at the buffet was actually better than the restaurant. Yeah.
Because it was fresh, right? Fresh and hot. They had it right there. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So I was like, it was the food overall, both the buffet and the restaurant was disappointing. But I mean, I'll eat meat cold or warm, preferably warm, at least room temperature. Like I will take room temperature.
Okay, I have to show this comment because I think it's an interesting request. First off, thank you. He says, hello, girls, you're very beautiful. Nat, can you do a punch like boxing? Thank you. Okay, I'm not a boxer. I have no idea if I would be doing it right.
Like,
all right, let's go. Let's go. Punch, hook, wait. That's a jab. That's a jab. That's an undercut. That's a hook. I took like one class, maybe once or twice in my life. You know, funny story, actually. One time I sparred with a priest in Rome on the steps overlooking Rome.
Wow.
Now, he wasn't a priest yet. He was in seminary at the time, a buddy of mine. But it was I had just met him. I was flying out to Italy for the canonization of Mother Teresa. I think this was like 2014-ish, maybe 2017. I don't remember what year it was now. But I was going out there. I had a girls' trip afterwards to Paris. We used to go on these girls' trips every year, Diva Days, with a bunch of my girlfriends. And they were going to Paris. That was the plan for that year. And I was like, you know what? I want to add on to the trip because I'm not going to go overseas to Europe and spend all the money on a flight and all that for 4 days, right? For a long
That's
weekend.
A long trip for 4 days. You'll be jet lagged the whole time.
I got to extend this trip and make it. And then I was like, okay, well, what else can I do? And I was like, Mother Teresa's getting canonized in Rome like the week before. So one of my other girlfriends that goes on the trip was a travel agent. I was like, hey, I need to be in Rome on this day. I need to meet with y'all in Paris on this day. Plan me a trip. I don't care where I go. Just plan it between Rome and Paris. And so she nailed it.
Yeah.
Had me go to Milan for the first time ever. I'd ever been to Milan. I absolutely fell in love with it. It's like city. It's like New York meets Italy, fashion industry. It was an incredible trip. But I ended up, so I'm flying out to Rome, and one of my girlfriends from my church mentioned to me literally the day I was leaving, hey, I have a friend in seminary out there right now. Do you want me to connect you with him?
Cool.
She connects me with him on Facebook while I'm flying out there. By the time I get there, he responds to me and says, hey, I have a couple of days off because we're coming back from a retreat. I can show you around. I can get you a ticket to the canonization. I didn't have any of that. It was like literally universe, God just dropped it in my. I'm a true believer, and Juliana knows, in manifestation. We've been talking a lot about that lately. It's like, put it in the universe, what you want, it'll come back to you. So
I manifested on the cruise. Give me hot food. Amen.
Seriously. So hence the sparring, because he was into boxing and training. And now he's a priest who is training to be a bodybuilder.
Nice.
So he's prepping. He was prepping for his first show. I have to check in with him and see if he ever got on stage yet. But
Yeah.
Only I would have a friend who's a priest and a bodybuilder. That's my buddy. All right, let's see. We got some other comments up in here. Let's see. More people jumping on. I love it. Carnival has changed. We're doing Royal Caribbean for spring break in March. Oh, Andrea, I wish you were coming on the low carb cruise with us at the end of
That's
May.
in April, right?
End of May. It's the last week in May into the first week of June.
Gotcha.
And that's a Royal Caribbean.
Yeah, we were talking about Royal Caribbean. My mom actually just sent me a bunch of options, but yeah, Carnival like pre-COVID was actually pretty good, but it's been hit or miss since then. Like last year we did a different ship. That was really good. This one, it was like, yeah, it was very disappointing. Like entertainment, the food, just all around, it was just pretty disappointing.
Did you do so? What about your excursions? Because to me, that's always like, I love exploring different places. So where did you go?
We did the hop on, hop off bus tour, and it was like downtown, like real Mexico. I was like, this looks kind of sketch. I'm gonna stay on the bus. I'm gonna hop on and not move. It was good though. I mean, like the shrimp, like the tour lady was like raving about the shrimp, and it looked really gross. There were flies all on it. I'm like,
ew.
No, but it was good to like just drive around and just see like how the locals live and see their food market and all that stuff. And then we did whale watching. This was my first time going whale. I actually saw whales because Cabo St. Lucas, the whales I think from Alaska travel there, so this is their season there. So we actually saw like 4 or 5 whales, like they were all grouped together. And then we did. Then what did we do? We did a local show. We did a tequila tasting. I got trashed.
You know what? Once upon a time when I drank alcohol, that was my drink of choice.
I mean, tequila is okay, but
it's
you can only get it there.
It was the cleanest option of all.
Dude, like no matter where you go, it was like a margarita tequila. It was like on them. They kept offering it to us. I said, okay, like free. I'm all free. So we did tequila tasting, had like fresh local food, and then they did a local like indigenous type of show, which was really, really cool.
That is cool. You know what? I had an experience like that in Mexico once upon a time. I can't remember. I think it was Riviera Maya. Was that when you were in Riviera Maya?
No, this was Puerto Vallarta.
Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to get back down to Mexico, man. It's beautiful.
It was fun. It was fun.
Good times. I love those shows. It's like with the lights and they're like, they do like the fire tossing and stuff.
They did all of that. It was insane. And like the music was all like local to like their heritage and stuff. It was really, really, really cool. Yeah, but that was our first port. Puerto Vallarta is where we saw that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
We wanted to do the rainforest one, but you needed bug spray. We didn't have bug spray. And I am the person who the mosquitoes flock to me. I would walk out like head to toe welts everywhere. Yikes. So I refuse to go to the rainforest or anywhere with mosquitoes. If they say you need bug spray, I don't have bug spray. I'm not going. So yeah, I was kind of bummed. Yeah, I was kind of bummed with that one, but this was just as good.
Yeah, that sounds fun. All right, let's see. We got people checking in. Tucson, Arizona in the house. I've heard it's gorgeous out there today. I was on a call with a new client from Arizona. So Becky, you're going to have another friend in the academy soon, another Arizonian, which by the way, I will be out there in April for to meet up with Maria Emmerich and the Equip Foods crew. So super excited about that. Mid-April, I'll be out there.
Nice. How did you get connected with that?
Along with me too. They were doing a influencer event. So Equip influencers. And Maria's going to be teaching some cooking classes and we're going hiking. So
that's fun.
Super excited. Yes. Hopefully I can get Brunson to come out there with me. Make it more fun. Let's see. Who else? Anybody here going on the cruise? Andrea said she's going to try to go on the 2025 cruise to Alaska. I cannot wait. We are already booked for that one.
Nice.
I'm so geeked about that. I've always wanted to go to Alaska. Oh, this is from Juliana. Happy early birthday.
Aww.
In case y'all didn't know, my birthday is tomorrow.
Happy birthday.
I just got my first batch of birthday cards for birthday and Valentine's from all of my moms, my mom, my godmother, and my grandmother.
Chat, what do you think? Should I sing a special song for Coach Nat for her birthday? Should I sing happy birthday? What do you think? Let me know in the chat. My singing is top notch.
I'm sure, especially with the cold and the cough.
Oh man, it's gonna sound amazing.
Of course, Julianne is egging you on. Do it.
Marilyn Monroe style. Ooh, Erin knows what I was going for. I could totally do that.
Oh, that sounds like a good idea.
Sean's in the house. Nicole needs to sing happy birthday. Thank you, Sean. Susie saying more singing. This is a fine welcome back. All right. All right. Sean's gonna mute me. There is no mute.
I'm gonna get serenaded, y'all. It's Galentine's for sure.
Twin Maples said to let it rip. All right. Okay. That's for my folks out there that eat too many veggies. All right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Coach Nat. Happy birthday to you. Thank you. Thank you.
Round of applause.
Thank you.
Got me all hot and bothered over here.
She's taking off. I made her undress. My singing made Coach Nat undress. You are welcome, friends. You're welcome.
I'm not allowed to be on video with Juliana without flexing for her. So we always have to do a flex.
Oh man. Susie says, "Good to have you back, Nicole." You're welcome. And Nicole says, "Ouch." I don't know if that's from my singing or I'm not quite sure what that's for. Hopefully, it's not from my singing because I'm good.
Ouch, because you knocked her out with your tunes.
Heck yeah.
Oh, okay.
Are you finally 40? What are you?
I'm 41 now. I'm officially
Holy cow.
In the 40s. Man. I'm no longer just 40. Now I'm in the 40s officially.
Lamb says Monroe's got nothing on you. That's what I'm saying. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, y'all. What do you want to talk about tonight? Because we don't have an agenda here. Clearly, we don't have an agenda.
I mean, we can talk about the description said stuff about fitness, nutrition, and stuff. So we can
yeah.
We can talk about, did you find a gym yet? Are you coming to Gold's with me? Where are you?
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Okay, so if y'all didn't know, Nicole and I were both going to a gym that was within walking distance. It was beautiful little, they called it my bougie gym, boutique gym. So pretty. We loved it. They're closing at the end of the month, so we have to find a new gym home. And yes, we have decided we are joining you at Gold's. Y'all, this Gold's,
right?
It is legit. It is.
It's nicer than the St. James, I swear.
The first time we just went and visited last weekend, and I took a bunch of video because the vibe in there, pictures of bodybuilders, pictures of Arnold all over the place. It says the Mecca of bodybuilding on there. I'm like, I go in there and it makes me want to go harder.
Did you see the squat room? That's what sold me.
Okay.
They have a whole room with 6 squat racks. That's it. Like, it's literally a room dedicated to the barbell. And it's only $40 a month.
And there's the functional fitness room. So Bronson was loving that with the kettlebells and everything in there. Oh yeah, it was, Mary says, I got to shout out Whitney. She'll be watching the replay. Yes, Whitney and I share a birthday. So our girl Whitney.
Should I sing to Whitney? Is Whitney here?
She's not here, but I'm sure she will. There you go. Whitney, that song was for you too.
Yeah. I don't think they want to hear me sing another round. I think we're good.
We're good for now, I think.
St. James, they owe me a whole year's worth of membership because I paid for the year in December and they're closing in March. So I was like, just cancel my membership and give me a refund. So they refunded me for 1 month. I was like, no, you owe me many more months. Like, add some stuff to that. So I might have to physically go there next week because he hasn't responded to my email yet.
Gone, yeah.
I know.
Money, girl.
Well, they're not going out of business. I'll reach out to the GM, but yeah, he hasn't responded. The manager hasn't responded to my email yet. I was like, you owe me a lot more of those $99. like you need to give me more.
No joke. It's not a cheap membership either.
No, it was $99 a month, and I paid for the entire year, so it's $99 times whatever, and they gave me just one round.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna fly.
Yeah, it's a super bummer though.
I know. I'm gonna miss walking to the gym. It was just so convenient. Now we actually have to get in the car and drive there. But for gold is worth it because oh my god, do you see all the equipment they had in there?
It's definitely nicer. I think it's nicer than St. James. They offer a lot more. I think they have better equipment than the St. James. I haven't worked out there yet because I joined the day or two before I left on the cruise, and I just got back and got this, so I actually haven't been there yet. But when I took the tour, it seemed like they have a lot of stuff there, like isolated leg press. They have like a wider range of equipment than St. James for like less than half the cost. It was crazy.
Oh, they have some badass pieces of equipment. I am going to do once we get in there, I'm going to do a whole series of videos on how to use the different equipment because there's some stuff I haven't used since when we were in Maryland. We went to Chiseled Life, which was where it's where the top female powerlifter in the US, basically who won the Arnold, won the Olympia, Tamara Walcott, I forget her last name.
Yeah.
She trains there, and it was such a badass gym. And they had I already saw it in there, the horizontal leg press.
Yeah.
Where you lay on your back and you leg press.
I want to try that.
It is incredible for the glutes. It is like, I'm about to have a field day in that gym. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
Watch out, Academy members, because your programming just might get interesting. I know I can't program everybody on that equipment because not everybody has it, but for those of you who do, you'll have some fun stuff coming at you.
I'm always big. Everyone's like, I think Erin and I, when we did a live, I don't know, I did a couple live streams about fitness, and I don't want to say a lot of questions. I don't talk about fitness, like lifting and stuff a lot because I'm not a personal trainer or whatever. I know enough to be dangerous, but it's not like my specialty. But there are questions that talk about strengthening your core. And I'm like, yeah, you don't have to do sit-ups or whatever, but where people are deficient in are hamstrings and glutes. So I'm like a huge advocate of hamstring and glutes because that all ties into your core. If you have like weak core, hamstring, glutes, then you're not going to have good stability. Your hips are going to be out of line. Like, it's going to cause a host of issues. So that machine, when I saw that, I was like, dang, that's like going to hit on every single area that I actually talk about. People are deficient in those two areas, specifically your hamstrings and your glutes. A lot of people have weak hamstrings.
Oh boy, do they. Yes. And there's a lot of misconception that you need to stretch your hamstrings.
Yeah.
Because your hamstrings are tight. And that can be the case, but a lot of the time it's actually that they're weak and stretching them is not going to help. You actually have to strengthen them. And it's not just the hamstrings. That's a common misconception all over the body. A lot of things we think need to be stretched actually need to be strengthened. So I know that's a big popular topic with my ladies who come in with knee pain, for example, right? You have a lot of knee pain, you have joint pain, strength training, and then eating in a way that's anti-inflammatory that helps your body heal and recover actually builds and strengthens all the muscles, the stabilizing muscles in the area. So those joints, it may hurt more when you first start moving. Because of course, you haven't been moving it and now you're moving.
Yeah.
But very quickly in the first few weeks, you'll start to notice the pain subside because you're gaining strength in those areas.
Yep.
Absolutely. Let's see. So, okay, what's this? Nicole, tell us about this gift, this membership gift. What is this about? How do you do this?
Each month we have to be monetized. I think the first level, 3,000 watch hours and 500 subs. So I think you have the subs. I don't know if you have the watch hours, but if you have the watch hours, 3,000, you can do memberships, channel memberships. And each month you have, you can give 10 channel memberships. So
Cool.
I just started doing that in January as kind of like a first of the year thing. So I figure why the heck not? Every month with the moon, I'll gift 5 memberships, hoping it'll like gift it to the people in the chat. But unfortunately, I don't know how YouTube chooses, but it didn't.
So it just randomly chooses.
It just randomly chooses. I can't choose. Yeah, I have no idea who got. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I'm learning new things every day. This YouTube universe, it's a whole different ball game.
It's fun.
It is fun. I want to learn more and be more engaged in the YouTube community. Learn the YouTube slangs and whatnot. Oh, okay. Let's see. We have a question.
Yay.
Leg curls, extensions, or leg press to help with knee pain instability.
Oh, I've had 2 major knee surgery, reconstructive on my knee, like really bad. I'm half bionic, quarter bionic. What I was told by my PT and my surgeon is to actually not do leg extensions, like anything isolated on my knee, rather than focus on what Coach Nat and I were talking about earlier, the things around the knee, the stabilization. So I focused more on my quads, my hamstrings, my glutes, my core, and by default, that strengthened my knee. So that's what I would recommend. That was what my surgeon and my PT recommended to me, is to strengthen the muscles and the areas around your knee and stay away, especially if you have unstable patella or instability or whatever. Don't do isolated knee work. Strengthen those areas around it, because you also might have imbalance in your hips, which I did. So you want to kind of focus on that, and by default, that will help strengthen your knee at the same time. So that's what I would recommend, is to not do isolated stuff, to focus on everything else that will strengthen your knee area.
And most of these exercises, they're not requiring. Yes, you're going to get flexion, right? Your knee is going to bend when you're doing any of these exercises. So for my ladies with struggles with knee pain at the beginning, we don't do a ton of like split squats and lunges.
I don't even do them now. I still don't. All these years after surgery, I don't do any Bulgarian split squats. I don't do any of that stuff.
And you can work those in when, after you've gained some strength in the surrounding muscles, once you have more stability. But the exercises that require a lot more flexion and load, so like those kinds of loaded Bulgarian split squats and lunges and things of that nature, are going to be a little bit more difficult, especially at the beginning of rehab. So leg curls, hamstrings are going to be your most active muscles there. You're going to get some calves. Leg extensions is going to be mostly quad. So as long as you're not, it shouldn't be a problem for your knee. You are going to be flexing and extending from your knee, but it's not it's not building the knee. It's not a knee movement, so to speak. It's really a quad dominant exercise. So you can do those kinds of things. What you can do too, if load is difficult, instead of using, now machines are going to help because they do isolate. So they actually take, you're not going to have to put the load on all the joints, right? So when you're doing squats, when you're doing lunges, when you're doing compound exercises, you're putting load and you're using your whole body. So that can be a little bit more tricky, especially when you don't have the stability. So you're going to be a little wobbly. Machines, so your leg curls, your leg extensions, your leg press, they're going to hold you in a more stable position and help as you build the strength. So those are all good, in my opinion. Leg press in particular, probably going to be better for you than squats, than loaded squats. But, and this is taking a page out of Bronson's book, I know he'll appreciate this, you're not going to get better at anything unless you're doing it. So I'd never really recommend avoiding everything altogether unless you're in an acute injury situation and it's causing immediate pain and you have to stop. Most of the time, I'll take the load out of my ladies' hands and have them practice the exercises and focus on mastering the movement without any weight. Practice your range of motion, your mobility, your stability in your squats, in your lunges, in all of these things, just not with a lot of load. That way you'll get better at it. And then as you're getting better at it, you're also going to be strengthening all the muscles that support you while you're moving through those movements. And those are movements we need in our everyday lives. So we don't want to avoid them altogether, or else we're not going to be able to sit down on the pot and stand back up when we need to, because that is a squat, my friends. If you want a squatty on the potty, you got to practice your squat.
Yes.
Literally, it is some of your why out there that you don't want somebody to have to help you off the toilet when you're later in life. So practice your squats.
It's true.
Let's see. So, oh no, I want to know, what exercises does the right work? What do you mean kind of right work? Did I miss
I think he's talking about what for specifically for his knee. The reason, I mean, I think Coach Nat hit on some exercises. The reason why my surgeon recommended no isolated and no extension, it depends on what your injury is and what your issue is. Like when you say instability, I'm thinking your patella doesn't track properly. And if you're doing leg extensions, that's going to further the problem, and that's why I was recommended to not do those. So it just depends. I would say, this isn't medical advice, to go to a physical therapist and have them give you some exercises you can do that's not going to further damage your knee. This is coming from someone with chronic knee issues. But what I did is I did a lot of biking, which is low impact, and it strengthened the areas I mentioned, your hamstrings, your quads, which helped my knee. I was able to run and walk a lot faster. I healed a lot faster. I did a lot of biking, actual like road biking, not at the gym. So you can like increase the resistance, the whatever you call it, your gears on your bike, to make it harder to pedal, and you will strengthen your hamstrings and your quads and all that, which will work your knee. That's what I did when I was rehabbing, is I did a lot of biking. I did do hamstring curls, the one where you lie back and you flex your leg up. That helped a ton because, again, weak hamstrings, that's not going to help things. I did do leg press, but I didn't go all the way down and all the way up. I did kind of like half because, again, it's the flexing and an extension of your knee. You don't want to, especially if you have tracking issues, you don't want to further damage your kneecap tracking. So I didn't do things that were fully extended or whatever to further damage it. But those are types of things I did. But if you haven't gone to a PT, I would recommend going to a PT and have a PT actually give you advice so you don't further damage your knee. But I would recommend doing things that are low impact and that doesn't require full extension of your knee if you are having a knee tracking issue.
Right. I think that's the key right there and this is like, I shout it from the rooftops all the time, that I'm a trainer. I'm not a physical therapist. So when you have an injury, it is absolutely key to go and see somebody in person so they can look at exactly what is your movement pattern. You might have imbalances that you need to correct.
Yeah.
They'll be able to look specifically at your physiology and understanding your injury and what you're recovering from and give you rehab exercises. I can't tell you how many people come to me years after an injury, never went to a PT, never did PT exercises, got PT exercises and didn't do them. And now here we are 10 years later and they're still having pain and problems. You know, so definitely get that checked out. I'm a big proponent of that myself. I finally found, actually, by the way, for Nicole, I found a great sports therapy place like 5 minutes from here. They had a booth set up at our old gym, and Bronson got me the card.
Nice.
I'll shout them out. United Wellness and Sports Rehab. They have a lot of, they work with the professional sports teams around.
Oh, I've heard of them.
Dr. Mustafa, Dr. Moose. He's a big dude.
Yeah, I think I think they're in the Reston Chamber. I think I may have met them like a year or two ago.
I'm excited to go there. I got adjusted, my first chiropractic adjustment in a while.
Nice.
Desperately needed it. My neck was all locked up. Going back on my birthday.
Yay. Happy birthday.
Massage and chiro on my birthday.
Look at that. What a time to be alive.
You know, you gotta self-care. It's all self-care, man. Recovery practices, very important.
So when are we going to work out together? So I have this program. I'm doing this powerlifting program. I'm like so behind in the workouts.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to talk about that. Yes.
I'm so behind because my schedule's been crazy, like between going to Jersey, the cruise, now crud because people are gross. But I'm going to catch up. But I'm doing this programming. I forget what it's called. I'll have to text you the name of the program I'm doing. One of my girlfriends recommended. But it's actually really good. It's focusing on the 3 lifts, but it also does a lot of accessory and mobility stuff. So I do plan to try 3 days a week to go. And I have a baseline of my strength, like where I'm starting from. It's weaker than where I was a couple years ago, but to be expected when I haven't used a barbell in so long. But I now have a baseline. So my goal is, so I'm at what was I at? I was at 175, between 175 and 185 because it was a percentage. But before I was like 100 and 212 on deadlift. So I'm probably about 200 on my deadlift. And my back squat, I don't want to talk about it. But my bench press, I was at 127 and now I'm at about 105. So my goal for the meet is I want to hit 225 to 230 on the deadlift, and I want to hit 130 on the bench. Those are my goals, my strength goals.
Woo!
So by next year, I have a year.
I was gonna say, when are you planning on doing it?
Yeah, they have them in the spring. They have them around the same time every year in Manassas and Sterling, I think, in Northern Virginia, where we are, like close by. And I think it's in March or April timeframe is the meet. I don't know the exact date yet because they haven't come out for next year, but it seems to be around the same time every year. So I'm thinking spring of 2025. So I have a year to work up to 230 I don't know if I'm at 212. I think I can get 230 by a year, maybe more. But those are my strength goals. So I want to at least get if I can get 250 on the deadlift, I'll be stoked.
That is so exciting. I have never been a heavy lifter. I lift for aesthetic purposes.
Yeah.
I do not care how much I lift as long as I'm getting progressive overload.
I think I can get right. If I'm at about 200 now, 50 pounds in a year, I think that's achievable. I think I can do that.
Yeah.
Right? I think I can do that.
You got to imagine some of it is going to be CNS. Like some of it will come back a lot faster.
Yeah.
And then the pure strength improvements will be less than even what you think you need to do strength-wise. You'll probably get some of that muscle memory faster. Just getting into the habit once you get into the habit more consistently.
I just don't want to talk about my back squat. We'll just leave that alone. Leave it alone. I don't know if I'm going to compete in the back squat. Right now it's definitely bench and deadlift, but back squat, I need to get that up to par because right now it is not good. It's really bad.
Right?
I mean, I have injuries though. Like, I probably shouldn't be squatting very heavy anyway. But so right now it's those 2 lifts I plan.
It
The back
really,
squat I don't plan.
it takes a toll. That barbell work, that heavy load work, it takes a toll. I started playing around because I had our last program in the build program.
Yeah.
More barbell work. It was a full day, three days a week, full body split. So and a lot of barbell work for those who were in the intermediate advanced program. And then I was just getting really, it was a lot on my body. I feel it that I need more recovery when I'm doing that. And so this block, I have like a mix, of barbell and dumbbell and Smith and all kinds of different things. But I had been doing my current favorite exercise, deficit deadlift.
Okay. Yeah.
Stiff leg deficit. So it is like, hello, hammies and glutes,
Yep.
but especially hammies. Like it really
Romanian deadlift.
Like Romanian, but even more,
more stiff.
Stiff leg, but then deficit. So it's just like all the stretch in the hamstring. And then it was just a few weeks ago, I was like, you know what? The gym was packed. I couldn't get any platforms.
Was this the St. James?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, because I went too late. It was like 6:00 at night, right? Everybody's there using all the platforms. So I went and I decided to do kettlebell instead. And of course, kettlebell, you're going to lift half the weight you can with barbells because they just don't have kettlebells that heavy. So I did a single kettlebell deficit. Felt amazing, just different movement pattern, different mechanics. You move in a different way and less weight. So even though it was heavy for kettlebells, it just felt so different on my body. It felt really good. So I did that for a little bit. When I went back to do the barbell stiff legs again, I increased my weights. And it was just having that break and doing something different, stimulating the muscles in a different way. And then going back, it was like, it felt easy to add more weight where I was kind of tapped out at my limit before that. So it's just kind of little tricks to things.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. I think for me, if I deadlift first, I think they actually squat first. Either way, if I'm on the platform and they do deadlift first and say I reach my goal, say I'm like at 250, but then I get to comp and I'm like 230 because you usually lift less, whatever, from what I hear. If I'm using all that strength to pull the barbell, I don't know that my squat's going to be even more affected because of my knee. So that's why I think I'm just going to do the bench and the deadlift to just save all my lower body strength for the deadlift, and then bench and just nix the squat. Because 1, I'm not going to be competitive. 2, I don't want to further damage my knee. And if we do squat first, I'm not going to be able to lift as heavy on the deadlift.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, and especially with it being your first meet, like pick like your main thing, right? Like that you can focus on and crush. Not to mention deadlifts they're
fun.
They're just the best.
Yeah, they're fun. My mom's like, can you deadlift me? I was like, I don't know. Human, your weight's more dispersed. Your weight's weird. I don't know. Deadlift, it's like equally dispersed. A human is a little different.
And the posterior chain is where it's at, man. Okay, y'all tell us in the comments, squat or deadlift? Are you team squat or team deadlift? What do you like better? We're clearly team deadlift all the way over here.
Yeah. Are we going to deadlift? I go to the gym. I'm usually there about 3:00 though. So I get there before you, I think.
I like to go earlier. It's going to depend with Bronson's schedule because we are a 1-car family now. So he usually has to go a little later. So depending on the day, and or if I can go and bring the car back for him, that kind of a.
Or we can meet up on a weekend. Yep,
we could totally do that. I have been out of the gym for 4 or 5 days now because it was like headaches. At first, it was just all this traps and neck locked up. So I was like, okay, I probably just need a chiropractic adjustment. And it did help initially, but it was just like 3 days. Headache, sinus pressure. I was like, okay, something's going on. don't bother. So I was doing my morning walks, going to the sauna. I replaced the gym with the sauna Friday, Saturday, took Sunday off, and then I haven't been back yet. So but I'm feeling the need. It's like when you make changes, when you start making your lifestyle healthy, right? Moving, eating well, but especially with moving and training, you get into that habit and now you crave it. You just have a few days off and I feel like I have to move my body. My body is asking for it. I was like, today I didn't do my morning walk. It was snowing this morning.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like down, like for real.
They closed schools in the county next to us. People, they closed schools in the county next to us and it was raining. It snowed for like a hot second. It was 40 something degrees. No way in hell that snow's sticking to anything. And they closed the schools.
And then this afternoon, it was gorgeous. The sun came out. It was like beautiful.
Oh.
It's like we went from winter to spring in one afternoon.
I know. But that was like, I don't know. You said something that's like a good lesson. Like, listen to your body. For me, I guess similar to you, I was itching to go because I only worked out once on the cruise. My goal was 2 days, but because of everything that was happening personally, like with emotion, like it was just, I was more tired than I thought. We got on the cruise and literally my mom and I, we didn't leave our cabin for like a day and a half. We just slept. And I was like, dang, I was more, because you don't realize how tired you are because you're just living life. You're just like, go, 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 go. But as soon as we stopped, I crashed. So I worked out once and I was like, you know what? I worked out once. That's good. I came back with the crud. I was ready to go to the gym tomorrow or yesterday. And I was like, no, it's going to be a shitty workout. I don't feel good. And I just need to sleep. So like, listen to your body. Your brain might want you to do something like go to the gym or whatever. But if your body is telling you that you need to rest, then definitely listen to your body because that's how people get themselves into trouble, either get injured or even have a crappy workout. So I think that's a good lesson. Like you said, you haven't worked out in 3 days. I haven't worked out in about 5. Because I was like, yes, I wanted to. My motivation was there. I really, really wanted to continue training, but my body was like, no, you need to sleep, you need to rest, you need to sit. I don't want you to do anything. So I think, I don't know, that's just what that reminded me of when you were talking about that, because a lot of people push through. So I think it's just as important to rest and recover and give your body the time it needs, and you'll be stronger for it when you get back to the gym.
Oh my gosh, y'all, like muscle is built in recovery. We break it down in the gym. When we are training, we are creating micro tears in our muscle. It repairs when we are recovering. So if you're in the gym 7 days a week training, when are you ever going to recover? You're not going to build. You're just going to break down, break down, break down. That's a main common misconception in the space. And especially when you start working with it, when you first start working with a trainer or a coach, what do you want to do? You want to go hard, right? You're like, you want to do all the things. And then you get sick. This is such a common thing that happens with my clients. They get sick and then they're like, I got sick, but I went to the gym anyway. And they're like looking for a high five. And I'm like,
that was going to be me yesterday. I was like, I'm going to the gym. I was all ready. And I came home and I was like, I was in bed by 6:30. I was like, yeah,
no, that's not a high five. That's a slap in the face. What did you think you were doing? When your body is trying to fight off a virus, a bacteria, something that's going on, an illness, your immune system needs to divert the energy and the resources to healing. And it can't do that when you're also asking it to break down and now repair your muscle. It's like it can repair this or it can repair that. Don't give it more to do, because now you're going to be prone to injury. You're going to be out longer and it'll take you a lot longer to get back. So just take the L, lay down, relax.
And you're going to prolong your illness recovery too. So it's like you have to pick and choose. So I chose to not go to the gym, and I'm really, really bummed because I need to work out there at least once since I joined.
You know what? Sometimes I'm like, look, I'm just going to go to the gym to go to the sauna. And it's like, if I feel like doing more, maybe I'll do more, but at least I'll get there and use the sauna.
Do they have a sauna? They have a sauna?
They do, and they have a sunlighten.
What?
So I think it's got some red light therapy and different
Interesting.
light spectrums in there too, which is my favorite.
Well, we have some people who are deadlifts, and we have a lot of squat people in there.
Yeah, let's see. We got some. Can I be on both teams? I love squats and deadlifts. Yes, Becky.
But if you had to pick, that's funny.
Oh yeah, Bliss. Deadlift. Aaron says squats. BJ says deadlift.
Oh, Tanya said she stayed home 4 days with the crud, finally went to the gym today. Oh my gosh, I can't. I'm debating whether I want to go to the gym because I'm feeling better, but I might just give it a day. But yeah, I'm antsy. Like I'm itching. I really want to get back to the gym.
Or go do a deload day. Just go do something. Do some mobility work. Like
Yeah.
That's just the other day. I was like, okay, I knew I wasn't going to train, but I still got up and did my morning movement, which is just normally a very light walk or bike on the stationary bike.
Yeah.
And then stretches. I do my stretches. I do some mobility work. I do some foam rolling, and I feel amazing after. And I realized I 100% of the time I feel so much better when I do that versus when I don't do that. So even if it's something simple, it doesn't have to be like, I haven't picked up weights since probably Thursday of last week. So yeah, it's probably been 4 or 5 days, but doing something, conditioning kind of work, not even conditioning work, recovery work, active recovery.
That's a good idea. We do have a gym downstairs.
Your body. Upstairs in the rooftop. Oh, we have one in the rooftop.
We have one downstairs, in our building. So maybe I'll just do the treadmill just to walk. I usually just walk on an incline. Like I'll pop it on like an 11 incline and just walk on a steep incline. Maybe I'll just do that for like 20 minutes or whatever just to get the blood flowing.
Yeah, get the lymph and the blood flowing. Mary, I love you too, Mary. She said, I tell her when to go hard and when to deload. I do have to tell her to deload because Mary works too hard. She loves picking up some weights.
I'm so proud of you. Look at you using StreamYard.
I know. Look at me like popping comments up.
Do you like this better than YouTube Studio for your lives?
I feel like a pro now. No, I do like this better only because I don't know what YouTube Studio can do. I don't know if I can do any of this in there.
Oh, yeah, you can't pop comments on the screen in YouTube Studio.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Hey, look, I paid for the premium. I may just keep it.
It's still because a lot of people watch the replay, so that's why I like popping them on the screen.
It's definitely more fun for sure.
Yeah, and people can I watch it on my TV, YouTube on the TV, and you can't see the chat replay on TV. So if someone's saying something in the chat, it's helpful to actually see it on screen because most people watch it on their TV and you can't see the chat.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah. I didn't even know about this whole life.
That's what I'm saying.
TV. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay, Bliss. She's getting a shout out. If I'm recovering or just in a blah mood, I'll do things that allow me to be active without really pushing myself. The hydro massage bed is part of that experience.
I like it.
Yeah, I am a huge fan of it. All things recovery. I love the massage. The hydro massage is pretty awesome.
I've never done it.
Who had that? Crunch Fitness, I think, had that. I can't
remember.
Crunch
was like the best gym.
I used to like Crunch back in the day.
No, they had the Crunch where St. James is. That used to be
Crunch. But we weren't here for that. But
yeah, it was really nice.
I did have a Crunch once upon a time, a Crunch membership. I feel like I've been a member of every gym at some point.
Yeah, me too. I think Crunch is because Crunch, this was newly renovated. It wasn't this nice before, but I think that's probably the best gym in our area. Because One Life isn't that their equipment's old and clunky.
Okay, my favorite gym of all time was One Life in Georgia, where I used to live. I was there for like 10 years. They were only there maybe the year before I moved. So I only
Yeah.
probably was there for like a year. I loved that gym. It was like 2 stories. They had the sauna and the whirlpool. Do they have the whirlpool? I know they have the sauna. I loved that gym so much. And I was all excited when I saw they had a One Life here.
And then you went.
And I didn't even visit. I just saw it online and I was like, oh, I can already tell that is not like the one
We're
I'm
the
used
same
to.
height, right? Their
Yeah.
equipment is old and clunky and not comfortable for our height people. It is the most uncomfortable. Those are the most uncomfortable machines to use if you are short, if you are small framed.
I just did a video the other day in my story on Instagram about what I do to fit the machines and how even upstairs in our gym, that bike, because everybody was on the treadmills, I had to use the stationary bike.
Yeah.
But my back doesn't touch if I want my feet to be on the pedals.
Oh,
So I put this time I used a yoga block and it was perfect because I've done it with the mat before and then the mat just kind of ends up sliding out and then there's still no space.
yeah.
There's still extra space. So that was my little tip of the day for the shorties in the gym. What you need to do to fit the machines.
Well, if you're benching, I think I gave this advice to someone, and Susie, I'm not sure if she's still in the chat, but she appreciated this advice. If you're benching, because I can't touch the floor, like my toes are on the floor, my feet don't go flat if I'm bench pressing. So I'll just get some plates. I'll just get some plates and just throw them under my feet. And that's
brilliant.
That's what I'll do.
Brilliant.
So like right now, sometimes I'm lazy and I'll just push through my toes if I can't go flat footed, whatever. But if I'm going too heavy, pushing through my toes kind of is not very comfortable. So that's where I'll just get some plates and put them under my feet and just use that to prop my feet up, and my feet are flat.
I totally need to try that because you know what? The new Golds, their benches are higher.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I was benching. I haven't done bench in a while. I've been doing push-ups, but instead I decided to do bench because it was easier. I was like, let's just do everything with dumbbells. I had a bench and I wasn't going to let the bench go. Although I will say they also have a lot of benches there. So shout out to them for that because some gyms have 4 benches, 3 or 4 benches.
And you always have to wait.
Yeah. So they do have a lot of benches, but I was laying on the bench and I was like, okay, at St. James, I can put my feet down, but I can't put my feet down at Gold's.
Plates.
So
Get some plates. Put them on your feet.
I like that. I like that.
I use a bumper plates if they have them. Most gyms don't have bumper plates anymore. They're too bougie. They have like the nice, like actual Olympic lifting plates. I'm used to CrossFit with the bumper plates and the plastic because they sit higher.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, Mary. Okay. I will tell you, I've seen this a lot. No, ma'am. No. I usually will correct this. I didn't know you were doing that.
Uh-oh. You're in trouble now.
She says I bench press with my legs bent at the knee and keep them on the bench. It helps stabilize and more control.
I've seen people do that too.
But to get the proper mechanics for your bench, put your feet on the floor, and you might want to try doing that little tip of putting the plates underneath your feet. But Mary doesn't have our problem with the vertical challenge, so she may not need to do that. But so Mary, there's your next challenge. I'm going to give you your next challenge. Put your feet on the floor.
Well, Simpson has a question. This might be my last question. I have to hop off because I have to get ready to head out to my horn tooting thing tonight.
Yeah.
I have Tuesday nights, but Simpson has a question at 5:59 about Bowflex.
Oh, let's see. Hold on. I thought I saw that in here. What's your opinion of a Bowflex? Well, Bowflex is a brand, so they have lots of different things. So I'm not sure in particular which one you may be asking about. I imagine you're talking about those machines that have lots of different,
like the cables and all these things.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different brands now too. Juliana, I know, has one that's another brand. I forget the name of her brand. She can tell you her experience with that one. But I mean, in general, they're great, these home gyms, because they're giving you the equipment that mimics lots of other different pieces of equipment in the gym that normally will take up a lot more space, but it's in confined space. So it's great. It'll give you some cables. It'll give you some usually lat pull downs. So things you can do with a lot of different, one piece of equipment, but you can do a lot more with it. So in general, I'd say I'm a fan.
Yeah, I used to have one of those types of machines. I don't think it was a Bowflex, but similar. And yeah, it had a bunch of cables. I think cables are great stability, right? Because you have to really brace your core to get proper movement in there because it's very unstable, right? So you have to like brace your core and really really focus on form to make an unstable movement stable. So I think cables are like amazing. Them and like resistance bands and things like that. They will make your barbell or dumbbell or whatever even stronger because you're using muscles and you're using things that you normally wouldn't use when you are doing a barbell or a dumbbell or whatever. When you're doing cable work, it's just different because you have to be more stable and brace things that you don't think about bracing when you're
Cables
using
are, I like to say,
barbell.
cables are more difficult. It's adding
Yeah,
more difficulty
it's adding more
because of
resistance.
because of the instability, because you've
Yeah.
got something pulling against you in the opposite direction. So where bands are going to give you resistance in one direction and not the other, cable is going to give it to you in both. If you are doing, for instance, lateral raises, which are already pretty difficult to get to even lift heavy, we've been talking about this inside my group. You do those with a cable and you probably won't even be able to move the peg.
Uh-huh.
You're going to be doing it with no weight for a while before you can push that peg down to even the 5s or
I
the
had
10s.
a trainer have me go, and I never done this before, take a cable, like put it all the way down and pull the cable like between my legs and lift it like I'm doing a deadlift. And we didn't even have it on high weight. And I was like, what in the hell? I'm like, I can rip whatever pounds of, off the floor, but you give me a cable.
Cable
It's so
pull-throughs.
much harder.
Cable pull-throughs are a burner for your glutes.
I'm telling you.
That is an incredible exercise. It's like doing a hip thrust.
Yeah.
You're standing and you've got, that is a, man, don't sleep on these cables, y'all. They're not easy. They're certainly not an easy thing.
Uh-uh.
It's a good way to take your training to the next level.
Mama Cracker calls me Smurf because I had a Hobbit house and it looked like a Smurf house. Yeah, and I guess the last thing I will say, because I know we have to wrap it up in a well, at least I have to wrap it up in a couple minutes. Coach Nat can stay as long as she wants. But another hack, and I think I said this in another stream. You can work different muscle groups, just body weight. You can work different muscle groups, even dumbbells, by just holding the weight differently, or even like doing push-ups. There's different variations of push-ups that hit different areas of your bicep, tricep, and all that. And you can, and the same with something as simple as a dumbbell curl. A lot of people just do traditional dumbbell curls, which works the top, but you could do hammer curls. You can twist it up top. Like there's so many different variations of movements that hit different muscles. So you can hold the weights differently to target different things. So there's more than one way to do things to maximize what you're trying to do, which I also find fascinating. Like the cables made me think of that, because the cables, you could do the same movement, but you're hitting multiple different areas that you wouldn't hit dumbbell, because of how you have to stabilize your muscle. And that's the same with holding something like a dumbbell. Just holding it differently and doing the movement differently hits different parts of your bicep, hits different parts of your tricep. You'll hit the inner, you'll hit the outer, and things like that.
Yeah, even as simple as standing facing the cable and doing curls versus standing away and doing curls. Now you're getting it kind of like an incline curl. So you're hitting it. It's incredible. All the different little tweaks you can make to your program to take it up a notch. It's pretty cool. Yeah, you could literally just train with weights, but it never has to be boring. If you dive in, right? You learn a little bit and then you try different things.
Yeah, for sure.
Heck yeah. Come join us in the academy and I'll teach you some fun things. with
Look at
training.
that. Look at that plug. Well, are you going to stick around?
I think I'm going to hop off to, it's time for some Bronson time.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna toot my horn, and she's going to hang with Bronson. But I just wanna say thank you to everyone for my channel. If you're not subscribed to COACHNAT, drop a sub, and I appreciate you hanging with me. I know this was a last minute thing on my channel. We had some connection issues, so thank you for popping on last minute. I appreciate you.
Thank you all, and if you don't follow me at Keto Bikini Secrets. If you're not subscribed to Nicole, go holler at her at Former Fat Girl. And we'll do this again next month.
Yay!
We'll get the boots out to y'all and let y'all know when to join us for some fun. We'll both be in golds by then.
Hey, maybe we'll do a collab in golds.
Oh, that would be fun. That would be fun. We could show y'all around. All right, y'all. Have a wonderful night. Happy Galentine's Day to all the gals out there. Hope you all have a wonderful love day tomorrow. Give yourself some love tomorrow. Self-care.
See you. Oh,
look at that. Oh, I love what this does.
oh.
How cool is that? I think it's my
you have an iPhone.
It's my MacBook.
Okay.
Shout out to Apple. It has all
See you later, friends. We'll see you next month.
All right, ladies and some of the gents. Peace out.